The Decker Athletics dataset provided to you is a complement to the various courses of the BCom HR program that use the Decker Athletics case study. The data is somewhat simple. It represents a multi-store athletics sporting goods chain, and you are familiar with pivot table functionality. However, there are certain things about the data that you should be aware of. So for example, if you're looking at the data, any work that you do has to exclude terminated employees, and those are the ones in the orange, unless you choose to have those terminated employees included in your data. So for example, if you're doing a historical study, you might want to include them. You could use the terminated employees to do some sort of turnover ratios or exit ratios. Now if you scroll down, you'll notice that there are some employees or non-existing employees in green, and these are vacant positions, so you also don't want to include those. So when you create a new pivot table, make sure that you put term date in report filter and choose only the blank term dates. Blank means that there's no term date, therefore the employee is not terminated. So all the data that you see down here will represent only active employees. And also take last name, first name, put it in report filter, and choose everything except, so select multiple items and exclude the vacants, because you don't want to include vacant. Vacants are employees who have not been hired yet. They're not really employees yet. So exclude that. Now any information that you put here will reflect only active employees. So for example, if we want to do a breakdown by gender, we might put male, female here, and then their various pays, put it in the values box, right click, value field settings, and add it up. And you'll see that the total of pays for males and females is this. We'll right click, value field settings, average it out, and you can tell the average pay. Now as you're looking at the data, make sure you keep your eyes on the various comments that have been put up here, and these are the little red triangles. So name of the employee, whether active or terminated, and terminated could mean that they retired or they quit or we fired them. This is the location, the name of the store or head office, and be careful when you do analysis to include stores versus head office, because people in head office do not do the same work as people at the store level. That's a job title, that's a position code. So for example, sales associate Eglinton, there's position code number 44, which means that there could be 45, 46, 47 sales associates. So if 44 were to quit, you can only replace 44 if it is in fact vacant. This is the full-time or part-time status, who the person reports to, the date we hired the employee, and the date we terminated the employee. So you can easily do analysis on how long an employee possibly worked for us and whether it was seasonal or not. And this is important. What was the reason the person left? To have a look, the date of birth, their gender, how much they make per hour or per year, but in this column it has been converted to an annual basis for you. And if some of these amounts seem low, it's because the employee maybe was seasonal. This is the actual number of hours that were worked for the year, and you know that they're supposed to work 1,750 hours. So at the bottom, if you look at the supporting tables, you'll see all that information. This is the actual pay that was earned, so we would deduct hours that were not worked. For sales associates, this is the amount of sales that they generated for the 1 year. This is their age, how long they work for us, how many vacation days they get, and again look at the supporting tables for more information and what percentage of vacation pay that we provide to the employee, and that could possibly be a top-up. This is more performance data, so in addition to the actual sales, we can also use the number of absent days and have a look at the comment, non-sick absent days. This is the marital status, sick days. SET is sales effectiveness training. So did we in fact invite people to take the training, and if so, did they complete it, which is passed, did they fail it, or did they not show? And we could match that up against performance improvements. This is their current performance rating, the overall rating system. It doesn't matter how we got it, although we can discuss how. And this is their previous rating. So for example, this person showed an improvement from a 3 to a 4. So again, look at the supporting tables to find out what each rating means. Now in terms of planning, this is their retirement preference. So at what age did the employee indicate that they would like to retire from their job? This is their succession preference is, for example, one, I really don't want to move up in the company. I'm happy with my job. And three is, yeah, I really like to move up. I want to be president or vice president someday. And this is the core skill. So does this employee have all of the core skills or the bona fide occupational qualifications required for the job, or are they lacking? And these are value skills. So any additional skills that an employee has earned on their own that could make them attractive to future positions, for example, promotions, this would be a percentage. So for example, the 97 is quite high. He's a keen employee. He's earned all his core skills and also gotten out and maybe got an MBA or all sorts of other certificates and so on to prove that he's promotable. So have a look at all of this data and come up with as much analysis as possible. So dig deep and find out. And we start with the raw. How many employees are there? How many per store? How many full-time? How many part-time? And start putting it together in the form of your own tables. Because once you get that done, you'll be able to see linkages and patterns and trends and pinpoint. For example, which manager is getting most people quitting on him because of job dissatisfaction, and is that a problem there? Is there something that we could do? And once you identify these problems and or opportunities, start thinking about what possible solutions you would have to come up with it. Is it training? Is it more money? Is it change the boss? What is it? Is it the location itself? Is Vancouver better than Montreal? And you start documenting that, and you become quite aware of the data. You become quite aware of the company, individual stores, the people, the culture itself, and you get this really great sense of how, in fact, decisions and strategies are made. So have some fun with it.